Haley. You're listening to Nothing But Niners.
So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, twists to his right, gets to the 20. He's at the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's down to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst.
Young, back to throw. In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 15, the 10. He dies. Touchdown, 49ers.
11's 27-yard line. 49ers into the backfield. Gets on third down. He'll take it himself for first down.
His left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in the post, and it's good! Touchdown! Touchdown 40! But it's second down. Ryan takes the snap, goes to slant to the left side. It's Michael, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for a touchdown! No greater redemption!
Kaepernick shoots it. Hold everybody. Colin Kaepernick. What a game. Touchdown.
Yeah. Huh? Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back. And guys, this is going to be a very, very fun episode. You want to know why? Come on. Somebody take a guess as to why this is going to be a fun episode. Anybody?
Because I'm back.
That was a bit narcissistic. Cool. Yeah. All right. I'll give you a point for that too. All right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Brian, you take a guess.
Because you're going to talk shit about something important?
No, because we're just going to chill. That's why. Thank you so much. These are the best
outside.
These are the best episodes ever, and I get to have a cigar while we do it. This is going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. All right, so let's start with the formalities. We actually have time to go through these things here. This is the YouTube channel here for Nothing But Niners. If it's your first time here and you enjoy the show, please hit that like button, the subscribe button, as well as turn on those notifications. Give us a follow on some of our social media platforms. We have Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are Nothing But Nine, ERS. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, and that is Nothing But Niners, spelled all the way out. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. To my left is my guy, Brian. He is Stater _Niner. And right below me, he's just Tony. That rhyme. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear the flow? Did you hear? Our resident GM is back in the building. Guys, how is everybody doing?
Another day in paradise for me.
All right, there's dragons flying around me right now, so you guys see me swinging.
Dragons.
Yeah, no, that was the biggest.
Hey, that cigar, brother.
Yeah, as soon as I get this thing lit, they'll leave me alone. But man, that was a big buzz. Oh boy! So another day in paradise over there. How's the temperature and everything out there? I know you guys were dealing with some stuff over there.
Yeah, the fires are still burning. They're getting worse and worse, but it is what it is.
Wow. All right. What about you, Tony, man? We got you on here for the first time in 17 years, man. Hi, welcome to the show. This is YouTube. It's 2021. I know that this is all foreign to you, man, but we are not in the same room. You're talking to me through a box. Technology's been crazy since the last time we saw you on the show.
He's like stepping off a manifest or what?
Just busy working, man. Busy working. That's it. Just making money.
I hear that, man. You know, so today we're going to do a little bit of barbershop talk. We're just gonna start a conversation and see where it goes. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat there. We appreciate you guys for jumping in. Look at that, DJ Malone 840. See, he's still the competitive thing. He wants to post the first comment.
Yeah.
Post the first comment, but this isn't the midnight show, man. You didn't have to do it this time. And I made the room pretty late too. It was around 8:40 when I finally got to doing it. But shout out to everybody out there. Thank you guys for rocking out with us. I know that you guys could be anywhere else right now. There's a lot of dead talk around the 49ers. There's not much going on, but you guys are incredible. You still chime in. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what people are expecting when they chime into shows. Like, we have us that we're doing the daily thing at nighttime. Now they send us questions. but we're still doing our regular shows. What do they expect to hear? Let's do this. Let's do this as an exercise here. Tony and Brian, whichever one of you guys want to go first. If you listen to a show about something that was during the offseason, what would you want them to discuss?
Tony, I don't know.
Put the boys on the spot. Y'all see what I did, Faithful? You see, I gotta
go, man. Like, I guess whatever. It's just, I mean, if it's not in the heart of the offseason, meaning draft, free agency, listen, just go, just talk. Because after that point and the OTAs come and go, it's dead. So just talk. Just figure out what's something to talk about. Just keep going from topic to topic and just roll with it.
Okay. All right.
Kind of why I pushed to do the Jimmy show on Tuesday, just to talk about something, a little bit different. And I didn't want to get caught up in what was happening with things. So I was like, let's talk about something good or potentially good.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you say a comment? I'm looking at DJ's comment here. How did he just come to the conclusion that I was late?
Because you're always late.
Because we started at 9:03.
Wow, look at how the guys throw me under the bus here. All right, so just try to find something good to talk about and everything. I understand that, and that's kind of where we are today. So let's start with something positive, guys. Let's start with something positive. I was looking through Twitter today, and I was trying to find something to discuss, even if it was on for our midnight show. Like, what am I going to find? The dragon was back. Sorry. What am I going to find that's new and that's positive? And we haven't seen a whole lot. Now, I saw Jerry Rice promoting something today on Twitter. The 49ers account retweeted it. He was saying to join them for something. Did you guys catch that? Tony,
no.
Don't sleep on us over there, bro.
No, I didn't see it.
Nothing, huh? Nothing at all.
I
all right.
Not see anything.
All right, well then fine. How about this one? I saw a tweet today. I want to credit the person who said it, but it's also I took it negatively. But the question was, tell me one thing that Jimmy Garoppolo can do in this system that Trey Lance can't right away. So I thought that would be a good starting point here, because the hate and all is not going to stop the appreciation for Lance and everything. It's not gonna change. People have drawn their line in the sand, and they have stepped to one side or the other. Pete, we're gonna try to get to this question here in a little bit. So I like that you sent that over to us. But let's start with where we are right now, guys. I thought the question was a little bit disrespectful. I'm gonna be honest with you. So let me get your guys' takes on it before I start spewing my hate for the question.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I don't like beating a dead horse, but we do it all the time, especially in the offseason when we don't have nothing going on here. But we don't know what he can do, what Trey can do that Jimmy can't do, because we've never seen him in Shanahan's offense. So, I mean, it's all speculation at this point. Holy crap.
All right. We don't see purple comments and contributions often. So, Mark, jumping in here, kicking the show off the right way. Woo! Mark says, and I quote, "I just love that you guys are consistent. I live in D.C. and can't find anyone that want to talk Niners." Bro, I thought something just ran past me over here. I might have to go get my dog. I don't know what that was. It might have just been like a bug flying by.
Yeah. The dragons and raccoons are out to get you.
Oh man, yeah. So all right. So Mark, thank you so much for the contribution. And yes, we do pride ourselves on one thing and one thing only here. Consistency. We try to make sure that we bring shows to you guys. When people can't make shows, we have other members who are like, all right, I'll do it solo if necessary. And so I tell the guys all the time how much I appreciate them for their efforts. We try to stay consistent. And, the days of the week that we decided to do shows was really Tony's idea. We were all talking about we should be more consistent. We should be more consistent instead of just randomly doing shows on, we said 2 or 3 days a week, and we were just like, all right, who can do Monday? Who can do Tuesday? Who can do this day? And then, Tony was like, Mike, you just got to pick 2 days and just do it, like a Tuesday and a Thursday. And then that leaves you open for a weekend show. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And so that's been the formula for the last, what? How long ago you think that happened, Tony? A year and a half?
I think longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
we've been doing this for longer than a year.
Yeah. So we've been consistent. Well, we've been trying to be consistent with the Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I hope it stays that way. So thank you for the contribution and the positive words, man. I do appreciate it. So let's get back to this whole Jimmy thing and what he can do and what he can't do. What can Trey do? What was the question? Tell me something that Trey can't do that Jimmy does in the system.
Something Trey can't do that Jimmy does in this system.
Miss half the season.
We don't even know that. We don't even know if that's the case. You know,
He can't do that. He cannot do that. If he turns into the injury-plagued player that Jimmy is, we screwed up.
Let's not even talk about that, please.
I'm just saying. You're asking what can he do? Like, he cannot do that.
No, I think he meant physically.
Like you're saying, like, all right. For example, like, I don't know if Trey's at the quick release point as Jimmy is. Is that what you're trying to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anything, because it seems like people are like, listen, Jimmy can't do this, Jimmy can't do that. We might as well put Trey in. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful. I'm not saying that I think Jimmy's going to be the starter come week 1 or any of that stuff. I just think that we got to kind of be a little bit more realistic here. I think that there's things that Jimmy can do right now that Trey Lance can't. Not saying that he won't be able to one day, but right now, if week 1 were to start today or when week 1 gets here, there has to be some things that Jimmy can't do that Jimmy can do, can't do in this offense. And that's what I'm going to ask you guys. Let's try to give some positivity to Jimmy here.
I'm going to say the quick release. Jimmy has a quick release. I'm going to go with Jimmy's quick release, and you haven't seen that from Trey yet.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But if he's got a quicker release than Trey, does that mean he's processing the field faster than Trey is?
No, because it's schemed open. It's a schemed open route.
You still got to find your routes, though. I mean, you still got to find your open guy.
If it's a 3-step drop, you don't
throw it to a spot, not a person. Right?
That's the difference. If it's a 3-step drop and he hits his back foot and he hitches off, that ball's out and he's thrown to an area. It's either picked, incomplete, or it's a catch. I think Jimmy's biggest issue is processing a defense and really like dissecting it and going off of reads and going through his progressions. I'm not going to say Trey could do that because he hasn't done it yet at the NFL level. But from everything you're hearing from Kyle, how he picked up the install already, it seems like he's a little bit more football IQ savvy right now at this point, at his age, at this point of his career in the NFL. Listen, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Kyle has made it clear, the team has made it clear they're impressed with his work ethic and his ability to grasp the tasks that they have given to him. That's why Kyle was comfortable taking the extra week off, rewarding the guys with time away and everything. Well,
that's a good thing, because if he hadn't given a week off, he'd have lost it.
Right. So, yeah, so it was coming either way. There's more things to it than that, though. I think that people are really discounting I think people are discounting Trey coming from college. I really, really do. I think the speed of the game is tricky. And so I've talked to a couple of people. I've listened to people who have talked to other people, and they're all saying the same thing. They say speed is speed. A person doesn't run faster just because they get to the NFL. There's fast guys in college. There's fast guys everywhere, right? But they were saying that the way that people process and see things and break things down, right? And I think that's what Brian was trying to get to. Doesn't that mean that Jimmy has a faster processor if the release is faster? Well, the release is literally just the time to throw. The processor, you can be a really, really slow processor. Who do I throw to? That guy, and it's gone. And then you can be a fast processor but have a longer windup. You get what I'm saying? So that doesn't necessarily mean the release, but I think we have to. This is what my issue is. When we were sitting at 12, I'm on Twitter saying we should be going for a quarterback. I'm on the show saying we should be looking for a quarterback. And people are killing me. And people are saying, you just think a rookie's going to walk in here and take over this complicated-ass offense? What makes you think that? Huh? Any rookie that's going to come in here right now is going to have to sit at least a year. Hey, look at Jimmy. Took 2 years to get to the Super Bowl. Look at how long it took for Matt Ryan to get This is what I was getting when saying we should look for a quarterback, right? We get a quarterback, and those same exact people are saying, let's get rid of Jimmy. Well, what happened to the complicated offense? What happened to him not being able to learn the play? He might know the plays, but he's not going to know how to check out and what to do. And what happened to that? See, thank you, DJ Malone. Processing, durability, and the deep ball. He thinks that's what Trey brings to the table that Jimmy doesn't. Pump the brakes. So I see the comments out here. Is there something that Jimmy does other than the quicker release that Trey can't do right now? How about the familiarity with the opposing defenses and the division? Isn't that something?
I think that's something that could be. You could get caught up to speed off of game film. I understand watching it and playing versus are two different things, but you can see tendencies on tape. So I think that's something that he and like I said before, if he's picked up the install fast, he might be able to pick up the defenses fast that he's facing off of tape. So it's. Listen, it's a tough. You could sit. We could talk about this all freaking night. You can just keep going in circles and circles, but I don't know. I'm just gonna stop because I don't want to go off on a rant about this. But
that's what we're here to do. Yeah. We're here to talk and rant tonight. That's it.
No, it's just like that question you asked is tough because Trey hasn't stepped on the field.
Right.
You're going off of projections. We know what Jimmy's limitations are. So you're kind of saying, okay, he's capped at this. We think Trey could do that. So if you're asking me, zero pocket awareness for Jimmy. I think Trey could have pocket awareness with his ability to move, slide, and take off, where Jimmy stands still as a statue. I talked about this on the phone with you the other day. So, and another thing is like as far as reading the defense, obviously defense is more complex and you'll see different looks, show this and then at the snap it goes to this. That's something he might have to talk about. I mean, learn
reads, yeah,
and pick up on. That's off of repetitions. But like we all know where Jimmy's limitations are. We know Jimmy's ceiling. He hit it, in my opinion. So it's just this is Jimmy. And now we're trying to see where Trey Lance could be better. And that's just the way I see it.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess that's fair there. We heard Kyle Shanahan say something that was very, very interesting to me, at least. And it was after the draft of Trey. He says, we didn't get him for the deep ball. Jimmy doesn't have a problem with that. Do we believe that? I want to.
Who doesn't have a problem with that?
Kyle said we don't have a problem with Jimmy's ability to throw the deep ball.
Okay.
Do we believe that?
Absolutely not. Sorry, I don't.
What about you, Brian? Do you think Kyle was telling the truth there?
Well, I mean, so statistically, they showed like in 19, there was I don't even remember. I know that Matt Miyoko had copied it from somewhere, but they put out a slide that had statistics on there. And Jimmy was like in the top 5 quarterbacks for over 20% or 20 yards percentage of catch, of a pass. And so I think that we just don't see it enough from Jimmy to feel like we're comfortable with him. And that maybe that's his play, Kyle's play calling that does that. But obviously if he's making that high a percentage, higher than, most of the rest of the league, then I think that we as fans are missing something.
Yeah. Is that 20 yards traveled in air or 20-yard completion?
Yeah. No, it was traveled in air. So I saw the stat, and what was interesting about it was that Jimmy's completions, his total number of completions, Patrick Mahomes had more incompletions, but he had like triple the attempts. Does that make any sense to you guys? And so that's why people say, yeah, Jimmy has a higher percentage, but he never freaking does it. And remember how I came on here and hyped up Mohamed Sanu as our possible third quarterback or whatever? And I was talking about his completion percentage and touchdown to interceptions ratio and all that. I don't know what that is. That you?
That was my phone. Sorry.
All right. But yeah, so, it comes down to that. Like, can we sit here and say then, well, Kyle should really be starting Mohamed Sanu because of the percentages. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting thing. But let's get to this question here with from Pete earlier on. I got it right here.
Okay.
And it says, I got a question. Who takes Dee Ford? Who takes Dee Ford's spot on the D line if he can't go?
God bless it. Well, that's what Sosa was brought in for, to my understanding, is that if Ford is a no-go or a can't go or limited, in his capacity to be available for 50 or more % of the snaps, then from my understanding, that's why we have Ibukam here.
Yeah, that's who I think it is. What about you, Tony?
I definitely think it's Ibukam, and I actually think if Ford is able to play, he is the fourth rusher, not even the third.
He who?
Ford.
You think?
Yes, I said it. He is the fourth rusher. He will come in on only third and long situations. That's it. That is it. Sosa will see the field before him.
In passing downs.
Yes. But his body can handle it.
So you're going to see more. Well, initially, your base, right? You got Bosa, Armstead, bookend with Kinlaw and DJ Jones.
Yeah.
And then you'll have Sosa come in on 2 if necessary, or if they switch it up.
I think 2 and 6 and longer.
I think they're going to try to create a speed package like what the Giants did that year when they had that dominant defense, the NASCAR, and that's when you'll see Ford. It'll be Ford, Sosa. They slide Bosa inside with whoever the other tackle would be.
All right, let me just make it simple then. Why do you think that?
Because I don't think his body can hold up. It hasn't held up yet since he's been a 49er.
So you're doing it as a preventative measure to injuries, or you don't think he's healthy enough to do it?
I'm doing it as both. I'm saying it as both.
All right.
He couldn't even – I forgot what game it was. He couldn't even finish a game.
But there was a lot of them. He only took 4 snaps against the Saints that year.
Was that was the game? Yeah, 4 snaps. He played the first quarter. That was it. He didn't even come out afterwards.
So I can't – all right, so here's my issue with this. I can't see him being healthy enough to play on 3rd and longs and then no other time. And if he is healthy enough to play on those 3rd and longs, he should be able to play on 2nd and longs also.
I don't see it. When you're talking about
let me ask you a question.
You're talking about an injury of that significancy of his neck, his back.
Yeah, but if he's healthy, he's healthy. There's no I'm a little injured, I'm not injured. You're either out there and you're playing or you're not, is what I'm saying. But
but he was also healthy going into the 2020 season and didn't step on the field. They said he looked good in the offseason. He was on the side field working out. He never got
right. But he wasn't on the field. What I'm saying is you're saying he's only going to play on 3rd and longs. What I'm saying is that doesn't make sense. He's either out there or he's not. If he's not, then this whole conversation is void, right? But what I want to know is this. So check this out. First down, there's a false start on the offense. Now it's 1st and 20.
No.
Who's coming out on the field?
He's not out there. He's not. So Bose, whatever the fuck his name is, will be on the field before him.
Ibukam, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Sosa?
That's it.
What do you think, Brian?
No, I like the idea of being able to utilize Ford in passing downs. If you had like a 2nd and 9 or something like that, then I like the idea of putting that pressure. But we don't know what his status is. So, again, we're just speculating. I still like the idea, like Tony's saying. I think Sosa sees the field more than Ford. But that depends. If Ford comes back and his back is good, if he has done whatever he needs to do and he's going to come back and be like, what did we say before? If he played, 70% of the snaps or something like that, we were good for the season. Isn't that?
I think we wanted 70% Ford half the time.
70% for half the time.
Yeah, like we just wanted to see something out there. We were like, "Oh, that's normal Ford. That's 100% Ford." All right, so I get what you guys are saying. I think if he's healthy, we got to use him. Maybe they come up with packages where they do all 3 of them out there on the field at the same time. I don't know, but it's
to say it best, I think they're going to save him for like big moments, like big moments in the game where, the the Niners are down by 1 and they're driving, and you need a pressure. He's rested. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on him. You bring him and he puts his hand in the ground and he goes. Then he can go back to the sideline. He can stretch to whatever. They put the stem unit on him, whatever. But I just don't think at this point of his career he's able to take the role that we all want him to take. I think that's beyond him. I just can't see it.
If they cut him, what's the cap ramifications? Do we know?
Tomorrow.
Because I can't understand why he's still on the team, and everyone is afraid to use him. If he's here, put his ass in. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, doesn't he make way too much money to be on the sideline and use 1 down per drive?
Just give me a second here.
Like that seems so weird to me. We were talking about. Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, we stumbled across something now. Oh, I'm about to get y'all with this one. Oh, here we go. Why is it Jimmy makes too much money to be a backup to Trey Lance, but we can do this with Dee Ford and as much money as he makes more than Sampson?
Oh.
Dee Ford lowered his salary for these 2 years. He was the one restructure.
He still makes 10 times more than Sampson, and Jimmy don't make 10 times more than Trey.
I understand that. The problem is we did not sign Ford this season. We signed him 2 years ago when we traded a 2nd-round pick for him. So when we acquired him, they slapped a 5-year, $85 million contract to him, thinking that he could fill the role that they have imagined in his head that they want him to do for this team, and why they sent the 2nd-round pick. Now, obviously, it didn't work that way. I mean, he helped the team out by moving money to give them space, but I don't. Until
why was Jerick McKinnon still on the roster to start the year last year?
I don't know.
Big contract, 2 years back to back, never touched the field. Why was he still on the team? And we found out that it was a brand new contract. It wasn't a rework. They let him go.
His deal, yeah.
Yes,
Well, I mean,
that's why he was on
the deal that they gave him was minimal. So I mean, at that point, you bring him on and see what he could do.
But I'm asking, why not just move on? That's my point. Why not just move on?
Well, maybe they felt they didn't have anything. Like, obviously, Jerick McKinnon's not a 49er this year because look at what they added.
Right.
They added the 2 draft picks. They still have Hasty. They have Wilson's hurt now.
I want to know
you are not going to get a player for what they expected to get out of McKinnon for the price that they paid McKinnon for last season. That's why I think he was on the roster.
It's a vet minimum, I think it was, right?
It was like
slightly over. Slightly over,
like 970 or something like that. Y'all are telling me that you don't think that the Niners said, "Hey, we paid this guy this much. We're going to try to get something out of him."
That's what I'm saying. I think that they wanted to see if they could, now that he was healthy, get him out there, and they had higher expectations, and they didn't see another running back in the entire free agency that they could bring in with what they believed McKinnon can do for the price that they were paying McKinnon last year.
They definitely went into that with that thought process, with the ability to sign him to that type of deal that helped their cap situation out. But you're talking about 2 different injuries, an ACL compared to a neck and back. That's I mean, Brian's the medical field. He'll tell you, you have a bad back and neck. That's a nightmare.
It's not about, if the injury was too bad, he wouldn't be on the roster. He wouldn't be. So McKinnon comes in, he makes his big ass contract. He's one of the top paid running backs, injured back to back. The Niners secretly cut him and re-sign him for a little bit more than the vet minimum. Mm-hmm. They do it because, hey, we've already invested $15 million into you. You've been on the bench for 2 years as a running back. We're gonna get something out of you. You're gonna carry the ball for us before we just let you go. How does the same thing not apply to Dee Ford?
I don't know.
Well, I think that part of the problem with Dee Ford was they were locked in such a large contract that they couldn't release him. I mean,
they're still locked in a large contract.
But he reworked it so it wasn't quite as bad. But I will give you the numbers right now. So if we were to cut him this season, we're on the hook for $18 million plus.
Exactly. It's still a large contract.
Right. $8 million this season and then $9 million next season because it's post 6-1 now. So I mean, that's part of why he's still here, because he has a huge contract. They're going to see what they can get. If he's available, they're going to have him play whatever he can play. But they're going to be smart about it too, Mike. I don't think they're just going to throw him out there willy-nilly, if you will. I think that they have, like Tony's saying, they have specific moments in the games where they're going to utilize him, whether it's, every third down or a passing down or however, but there's going to be a thought process that goes into when he gets utilized, I think.
They're going to have a plan. He's going to be on a pitch count. If Ford makes it through training camp and makes the final 53, that means he's somewhat healthy to play. He's going to be on a big pitch count. He's not going to be just like, a rotational. He's going to be on a pitch count. Because I'll be honest with you, when he played in that Super Bowl and that season, he flashed some plays, but then there's plays where he just did not close.
See, Ray, you're wrong. He's injured.
No, I don't think he's trash. I just think his body's giving up on him, and it's limiting his skill set. He is a speed rusher.
See this, Ray? Go. Sorry, Tony, but that comment I want to say something about. Go ahead. He's a speed rusher. Go ahead.
He's a speed rusher who uses his ability to run around the corner, bend. And when you have a bad back and a bad neck, which your back is tied into your hamstring, so if that flares up, there goes your explosion. He's not the Dee Ford that we all thought he would be. So that's why I'm saying if he does make it to this point, man, if he gets 15 snaps a game, 20 snaps a game, that's pushing it.
But that's a good number, though. That's over 25% of the snaps.
I'm saying if he could do that. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying if he can do that, if his body allows him to do that. That's the big question. We don't know. Yeah, he could be at the headquarters working out all year, but the problem is if he's not in pads, bending, leaning, using his upper body and his legs at the same time to push off and bench a tackle and to bend that corner, it's different than jogging with shorts on.
He's definitely doing that out there. He could do push-ups and sit-ups at home. You don't need to go to the facility for that. He's there so they can monitor him and see if it looks like he's going to play.
I think what he did at that facility is 100% treatment and strengthening his lower back. That's all he did. That's my opinion.
Yeah, from the videos that we saw, it would confirm that too.
I think Ray A, his comment about you use him until the wheels fall off. I think it applies. I think it applies, man. I think that's what the team's plan was for McKinnon. When he finally got out there, they realized how trash he was. And yes, there were other running backs that we let go of to keep his bum ass on this roster. I'm talking play-wise. I don't know him personally. I'm talking only play. I was not happy with what we saw from him on the field. And I didn't like how slick he was talking when Jimmy asked him if he was coming back. No. Yeah, he can kiss my ass. This guy, but I feel like the team was like, oh, well, we can try to get something out of him. And they gave him opportunities early, too. And he worked his way right on off the roster. Like he didn't do anything. He didn't show anything. We let go of Salvin Ahmed.
Oh, man.
And we let go of somebody else for him, too. I don't know if you guys remember Jeremy McNichols.
Yep.
That was somebody else I had some high hopes for. Like, come on, man. We got to let me ask you guys this question. What other players on this roster do you think the team should have moved on from already that they didn't? So I'll give you an example. A lot of people say that about Dee Ford, right? We're talking about Jerick McKinnon. I personally felt that way about our two backup quarterbacks last year. Like, guys, they ain't it. Get somebody else in here, please. Between Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard, what are some players that you guys think that are on this roster? It's like, all right, man, like, come on. We got to.
You really got to be careful with that because I'll be the first to tell you, like, 3 years into Jimmy Ward's contract, I was like, you need to go, brother, because you can't stay healthy. But look where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to find a way to stay healthy and then be great on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to be careful when you're talking about who shouldn't be here.
Well, don't do it based off of injuries then. Like what player is just not living up to the hype that they keep?
Well, that's the thing. You have to throw injuries into the equation because if he's injured and not playing, therefore you can't evaluate him as a player, and he's not on the field contributing.
C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins were never injured, and we knew they were trash.
Well, like Pettis. Pettis was here too long. He should have been gone. Yeah. He had the opportunity, and we thought, well, at least I thought, we brought him in. He should have been the key return guy, but we didn't utilize him that way. He obviously wasn't a receiver the way we wanted to use receivers. He had a couple of good catches and then fell off the radar and got in the doghouse. He should have been gone a year before he was gone.
Okay. I like that. That's a good one. Is it? Can you think of anybody else, Tony? Or even someone that's currently on the roster?
I'm going down my list right now.
I'm trying to go through the roster in my head right now.
All right. This is my guy, and I'm gonna ask you guys, why is Kevin White still here?
Because they need camp bodies.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's camp bodies. I think they're trying to find something. They're bringing guys back that fully know the system now after a year being in it and seeing if they could take that next step. It's low cost
roster.
Excuse me?
He was on the active roster on game day.
What, one game, right?
No, I think two. The last 2 games of the year, I think.
No, because they couldn't afford to bring him up, I thought, the last game.
I might be wrong.
Only other one, and this is cutting it short because obviously he didn't get a good training camp, all that kind of stuff. The only other one that I'm disappointed in that we could think about is Charlie Warner. He's just not living up to what I was hoping that he would be. But then again, he hasn't had a real opportunity yet. So, I don't want to say that he shouldn't be here, but he has definitely not.
I think we should wait before we jump on anybody in that draft class last year because they didn't have a true offseason. They didn't have a true offseason in the weight room. So I think we should see – allegedly Charlie Warner has been working out with Kittle all year. Mm-hmm. I've seen pictures of it. He put size on. So what is going on over here? You all right?
Fucking y'all didn't see the dragon?
No.
I wonder what's in your cigar tonight, dude.
Yeah, really.
It hit me and it flew towards the screen. Y'all didn't see it.
So I think we should just wait a minute before we really lash into those guys. Now, if they come out this year flat and they don't show nothing, then by all means, they're not a part of it, and you move on.
He played week 5 against Miami, week 6 against the Rams, and week 9 against Green Bay. You're right. He was not there at the end.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford him. That was the big thing. They couldn't afford to bring anybody up because of the salary cap situation. But if you're asking me, I would seriously take a look at the 1-year deals that the 49ers signed. It's nothing against them. I think if those players like the Tarts, the K'Wan Williams, the guys that they brought back on 1-year deals, if they found bigger, more lucrative deals in free agency, I think those are guys that are probably would not have been a part of the plan going into 2021. I'm not saying I personally want them off the roster. I don't, but I'm just really happy that they were able to come to terms on a 1-year deal.
Is Street still on this roster?
Yes. Yeah. He probably won't make the team this year, but he's on the roster.
No, I don't think Street's making this team this year. Not with this defensive line. No way.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so. But another player that I think was here too long and probably should have left earlier because I think Wilson could have done his job was Coleman. Coleman could have left. But that was another one of those Kyle guys. He wasn't going to let Kyle's guys go anywhere,
Mm-hmm. Yep. I am positive this is not – come on, guys. Don't disrespect my man Rocky like that. Rocky says hi, guys. Rocky Patel. Hello. My man said J.J. Stokes he took that shit. Wait a minute. Hey, stop hating on J.J., man. I got a lot of touchdowns with him in game day. Mike, why are you so sure Trey Lance isn't ready to play week 1? He played in a pro-ready offense and played good enough for Shanny offensive genius to trade our future for him. I have never said he wasn't ready to play week 1.
First of all, go ahead. Finish.
And I prefaced that whole conversation with saying, don't take this as Jimmy's going to be our starter week 1. I just want to have this conversation because I think people are short changing Jimmy.
Right.
I never said that Trey wasn't going to be the week 1 starter. I want to see him in preseason because this guy hasn't played with pads on in a year and a half. I want to see him do something before I sit here and crown him. But I didn't say either way. What were you going to say, Brian? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say a lot of people get hung up right now on the fact that the media has released, and obviously they talked about at the pressers, that Trey has received the full install. Well, the full install doesn't necessarily mean that you're a master of that offense. So
talk your shit, Brian. Tell them the difference.
I get irritated when I get that argument from people. Well, he got the full install. Well, the full install means that you understand the language, you understand the play formations and where your receivers are supposed to be, but that doesn't mean you have chemistry with your receivers yet. And that doesn't mean that you have I'm not saying that Jimmy is a master, but he's definitely been in the system longer than Trey. So he should know how to utilize Kyle's system better than Trey does at this juncture.
That's true to a point. I have to go back. I'm going to rebut this and say this. It took Jimmy Garoppolo from the day he got his surgery from his ACL all the way to 2019 to learn this offense. If this kid has the ability to pick up the mental aspect of the game, obviously it's not on the field. Obviously he's not working with receivers and ones and protections and facing live defenses that we know of.
Never know what this team
I think that says a lot about the ability and the football IQ of Trey Lance. I do believe Kyle when he says he picked up the install, because that's tough, man. I mean, and you got to look at you have to give the credit to the North Dakota State coaching staff for running. I'm not going to say Kyle's offense, but the basic principles of a true West Coast offense. So maybe that was the transition that made it easier. Because remember, Jimmy's offense was a lot different in New England. And when they traded for him and finally got him on the field in 3 weeks to run a New England principal offense, it still took him 3 weeks to get on the field, and he produced. But the minute they flipped the script and ran Kyle's offense, and then he got hurt with the ACL, he wasn't still that quarterback yet. You still saw some New England principles. So it's kind of like, what was that face for? Oh, I saw that.
Dane Rose talking shit about Dana Stubblefield. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. A lot of guys don't play the same when their partner's not right next to them. Sorry, Tony, go ahead, man.
No, you're good. I thought you saw the dragon again.
No.
Mike's chasing the dragon. All right.
Oh, man. No, man. I get what you're saying. It's going to be interesting. All right. So let me ask you guys this question. I want you guys to be real honest, and I want you guys to put yourselves in the position of the GM and the front office members, and you have to do what is best for the 49ers this season. Okay? So I'm going to ask you a very specific question.
Oh, God.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo getting paid too much money to be a backup for a year?
From my standpoint, when I look at that, I look at the entire room. So I'm looking at the quarterback room and the amount that we're paying our quarterback room. So I'm going to say no.
You know
Tony.
You know my answer.
I don't know your answer.
Yeah,
maybe I do, but the viewers don't.
Tony was going to send Jimmy away a year ago. What are you talking about?
Yes. But the screwed up thing about it was, if you listen to the fan base all last year, if you listen to the fan base while Jimmy was on the field, everybody wanted Jimmy gone. Everybody. It's just not me. Everybody wanted him gone. And you're coming to me with a $27 million figure saying, yeah, sure, he could sit the bench and we'll pay him that. God forbid, Trey's cleat falls off and he's got to go to the sideline. Jimmy comes on the field and someone rolls on his ankle and he snaps his leg. Guess what? You can't move that money because of the injury guarantee.
Why do we always go to that, though? If he's coming in as a backup, one, if he gets on the field, Trey Lance isn't who we thought he was. That's number one. So that's why I'm asking. I'm asking this because there's a very strong possibility. There's a strong possibility that the team might say, hey, we gave up a lot. We've got a good team regardless of the quarterback position. Let's throw Trey out there and see what happens. There's a chance that happens, right? There's a chance that Kyle designs a dink and dunk system for his rookie quarterback to get comfortable. And what happens with Jimmy? Don't you guys think it's a little more detrimental to the team to lose Jimmy instead of move Jimmy?
Well, my stance.
But I want I don't want Brian from Nothing But Niners opinion. I want you doing what's best for the team.
Right. And I think what's best for the team is for Jimmy to start this season. That's what I think is best for this team as a whole.
No, but that's not the question. You can't change the question. So we go.
That's what's best for this team, Mike.
No.
Jimmy to start. That's what you asked.
That's not the question. Look, we go through preseason. Trey Lance is incredible. He is lighting it up against the starters. He goes out there. He plays. Who did I have that conversation with? How many quarters does he play out of the 12?
Me.
Oh, I didn't ask that on the show. Oh, we're gonna get to that next. So Trey Lance lights it up. in preseason, Kyle's 100% confident in him. Okay, they named him the starter. This isn't up to us. He's already named the starter. Okay, disagree with it, love it, hate it, whatever. Is Jimmy too expensive to keep on that contract as a backup for 1 year?
I mean, obviously the team could use the money for other things, even if it's just to roll it into next offseason. Obviously that would be more beneficial, right, for the team for going forward. For this season, however, unless we hear otherwise about Rosen or Sudfeld, you need to keep Jimmy on this roster.
Tony, did anything I say change your mind?
No.
You are a stubborn-ass New Jersey dude.
I'm just – listen to me. You got to understand something. And you agreed with me earlier. The injury part of his deal.
Yes. If Jimmy gets hurt, if he says his nose hurts, that money is guaranteed.
Look at his history. Like, why would you even want to get – I understand that, but you got to look at the totality of this. You can't just look at the quarterback room. You got to look at the big picture. 6-year extension for Kyle, 5-year extension for John Lynch. Mortgage 2 first-rounders. They beefed up their offensive line. They brought in 2 running backs. They added – well, hopefully Jalen Hurd comes back as a wide receiver.
Jawan Jennings, bigger targets.
You got Jennings. You got Richie James coming back. You have pieces. You have a defensive line with depth. The way I see this, and I'm going to go on a rant now, the way I see this is they constructed this team for a rookie quarterback. You put a bully in the middle next to Alex Mack, who's probably the best high IQ center in the zone blocking scheme in the NFL. You put a bully next to him to help Mack. You put and Banks could help out McGlinchey. So it's if you look at the totality of the picture, you have a Fred Warner contract coming up. You have a Debo. You're going to have an Ayuk in 2 years. You're going to have a Bosa in 2 years. You have big numbers coming up. And right now we have a ton of free agents next year. We only have, what, Bri, 22?
What's that?
Million?
Oh, for next offseason?
Yeah.
23, I think.
That's with Jimmy, though.
That's with Jimmy on the books. It
exactly.
will
So now just hear me out with this, okay? It's not that I don't want Jimmy on this team. If you look at the totality and the plan of this team, remember, this is a business. It's not a friendship. If you take that $25 million now, you roll it to next year, that's $50 million just from Jimmy going elsewhere.
Wait. Back up. So we have 23 million.
Yes.
It's almost 50 if Jimmy is not on the roster next season. If we have him leave now,
it's 75.
Almost 70, over 70 million.
Exactly. Now, this is the thing. Now, you invested what you invested. Your front office and your head coach is safe. You bring in a kid who sat out all last year. And in my opinion, I don't want him to sit another year. And if there's anybody that I would trust with a rookie quarterback to create an offense, to get him into this league, and then eventually let the reins go, it's Kyle Shanahan. He did it with Nick Mullins. He created 3 offenses last year with 3 different quarterbacks. And I know you're worried about, God forbid, if Trey Lance falters. God forbid if an injury happens to Trey Lance. I understand the question marks between Rosen and Sudfeld, but
well, there's more to it than that. But yeah,
this is my biggest thing. They made this move to not have Jimmy here. He's not the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers in the future.
Correct.
Okay. Now, God forbid, let's just hear this out. You want to stick with your theory. You want to keep Jimmy at 27 as the backup. Trey Lance tears it up. What happens if he has a bad game? What happens if he has 2 bad games? I'm not saying dismal games, but what happens if he comes out hot and then he starts his, coming back down to life, right? They don't have film on this kid. Now what are you going to do? Oh, put Jimmy in. Now you're messing with the head of this kid. And then you have the locker room going, we want Jimmy, we want Trey. We want –
This fan base has been like that. As soon as Jimmy was not up to their standards, like put in Mullins. Mullins is a god. Oh my god, this guy's amazing. Yeah. Let's put in CJ Beathard. This guy's amazing. He's better than Mullins. Everybody is better than Jimmy, according to our fan base.
But we all know that if Trey gets in there, they're not looking back. The only way another quarterback gets on that field is if there's an injury.
Yeah, I'm not saying from the team's aspect. You're going to get pressure from the media. It wasn't too early for Trey. Listen, these are things, Mike. These are things that are put out in the media that players hear. I mean, Jesus Christ, they watch our things. God, you say something wrong, they're tweeting something. They're responding to something. Shit gets out. People hear things. So it's like you have to look at it as the whole big picture. It's just not one thing in the two quarterbacks. You have a locker room. It's just big. It's bigger than what people think it is.
But the other side of that doesn't get, and this is why I wanted to talk about it on Tuesday, is we can sit here and say that we want Jimmy. I mean, you could release him. Sure. You could straight up release him. Okay. But there are not very many teams in the league right now that need Jimmy Garoppolo. So the chances of us actually being able to trade him before the season starts is almost nil, unless something bad happens in training camp. So there's not really a market for Jimmy. So your best bet, if you want to get something from Jimmy, is to have him hopefully ball out this year so that we can sell high on Jimmy at some point, either mid-season or at the end of the season. Because even if we release him at the end of the season, because he doesn't finish his contract, we get no compensation. Like, we don't get any comp picks for him because he didn't finish his contract.
You're going to think I'm crazy when I'm saying this, but my compensation is freeing up that money and being able to retain the roster, the young nucleus.
I don't know that Lynch looks at it that way. He's going to want some of that picks back that he spent.
Well, if we get rid of him now, you're not getting picks back because there's no trade market for him.
Right. Like I said, we got it down to 4 teams, and realistically only one of them is really an option.
I do think that Lynch is going to want to keep the picks that he drafted that have earned Pro Bowl status and stuff like that. So they know where that money is coming from. And they also know the picks that they gave up to get Trey means Jimmy isn't part of the plan. So those picks also work against Jimmy staying. And you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at all the picks that they've invested to move on from him and what they're going to have to do to keep this team together, Jimmy ain't worth it. I mean, it was a second round pick. That's it. So I think that if you got if every second round pick helped get you to a Super Bowl, I think your team is happy. Jimmy helped us get to a Super Bowl. Now, we didn't win it, but we got there. So I think they're happy with what they got from him. I'm just worried about the backup quarterback situation. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not something that I should be worried about. You know what I mean? I said all the time, and I'll say it again, we have the best quarterback room in the NFL right now because of potential and because of the experience in this system. That's what I think. Now, let's move on because I have a question here. Apparently, I asked it to Tony, not you, on the show. So this will be a fun one. Maybe not fun. Jimmy right now is listed as a starter. We know that because Kyle has gone on record on that interview with Sean McVay and Peter Schrager and flat out said that Trey's only taking reps with the third team, sometimes second team. Never with the first. Okay. What I'm going to ask is, there are 3 preseason games this year. Okay? 4 quarters each game. 3 times 4 is 12. How many quarters of football during the preseason does Trey Lance play?
Can I give you like a window? Because I think 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Okay. All right. So only 1 full game worth for a quarterback who hasn't played football in a year.
Right. I think that, well, okay, so there's 3 games. So to me, game 3 is going to be almost all Jimmy. You're going to get, at least the first half is going to be nothing but Jimmy. But I think in games 1 and 2, you're going to see splits between Trey, and then you're going to get Rosen out there and Sudfeld too. So you're looking at 2 from Trey, 1 for Rosen, and 1 for Sudfeld.
Not necessarily.
I'm just speculating.
Right.
So I think he gets 2 quarters in the first game, 2 quarters in the second game, and then he gets 1 or 2 quarters in the third game, because I think Jimmy comes out and he does the first half. It's dress rehearsal. That's what the last preseason game is usually.
Well, no.
It used to be the third game.
The very last preseason game, when it was 4, you never saw the starters at all.
Right. That's the bubble hunt. That was everybody who was on the bubble to figure out.
That was the last 5 roster spots.
And I don't think that they're going to – I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't anticipate them doing that this year. I get more of the feeling that that week 3 is going to be the dress rehearsal. Still, they just won't have the week 4.
Interesting.
But they could change it up. It could be, week 1, Trey gets 2. They do their dress rehearsal week 3. Then you get Trey with a game, and then you see him play in week 3 with 2 more quarters. So I think between 4 and 6 seems reasonable to me.
All right. What do you think there, Tony? What number did you settle on? I don't even know if you actually ever gave me an answer.
I don't even remember either. I think, I definitely gave you an answer. I think quarters, I think I said 8, maybe. I think it's going to be I don't know how to read it. I really don't, because they know what Jimmy has. So are you going to see an abundance of Trey, and then in the second half between the Rosen and Sudfeld, or are you going to see Jimmy, Trey, then Rosen, Sudfeld? I just want to. It's going to be interesting to see that rotation, because I honestly think the rotation will tell you a lot about. Well, it could tell you a lot about what they think. If you're seeing these two battle it out in the second half, like every game, and then some get reps in the second quarter of the third, I think the third game, whoever starts, the starting quarterback coming out is going to tell you a lot.
Are you assuming the third game is dress rehearsal?
No, I think the second game is going to be the dress rehearsal.
Okay.
I think you guys are forgetting something here. Kyle Shanahan has never used 4 quarterbacks in preseason. We had Brock Rudder here, and I couldn't wait to see him. He never touched the field.
Yeah, but this is a different situation.
Different scenario. Yeah.
It's not. How is Brock Rudder different from Nate Sudfeld?
Because your starter was entrenched, and it was Jimmy Garoppolo, and then you had Mullins and C.J. Beathard fighting for the backup spot, and they were going to try to put Rudder on the practice squad. This is a situation where if he outshines Jimmy, now you need to bring those two up and get those reps to evaluate them. So who's going to be the backup? They know what they have in Jimmy. Now the focus becomes Sudfeld and Rosen.
Right.
I don't think we see Jimmy much this preseason at all. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I think it's more detrimental to the Niners to put Jimmy out there now. You got to get Trey ready, because how long it's been since he played, and you got to figure out who's going to be behind him or Jimmy.
Just like in game 3, if Sudfeld or Rosen comes out as a starter, I think Trey might be the week 1 starter.
All right, real quick.
I really do.
LeBron Gems, $4.99 contribution. Love the show. Thank you. And then
Don is crazy.
Don Burr, $2. Detroit 29 or 28. Niners 18 week 1. This man's outside of his mind. But thanks for the $2.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I was just sent a video of Richard Sherman. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. I haven't seen it. I'm going to hit play on it real quick. Oh, this is him trying to break the door down.
Why?
Oh, man, I'm not going to play this now. Oh.
He's not on the 49ers roster anymore, Mike.
Oh, smokes. So we still got to discuss this, though.
Do we?
He's not here, and I don't know if he was going to be part of the team's plans or not. But this is more about players, okay? And so if you guys don't want to say anything, that's cool. I understand. But what I don't want to do is speculate on what happened and why and all that. What we do know is that his wife confirmed in the 911 call he drank 2 bottles of alcohol, not wine, a bottle of Hennessy and a bottle of vodka, okay? That's a lot of alcohol to consume at one time. We know that he was in the house. He was trying not to get him to leave, trying to get him to stay. He then left, crashed the car, goes back to the house. And then that's when he was arrested and detained.
Right.
But what's troubling to me is that.
And at some point, he got pepper sprayed by his father-in-law, because that came out today, too.
And then they had to get the dogs on him because he was resisting. And
that was for the police. I'm saying the father-in-law pepper sprayed.
And we heard that he fought with the uncle. So we knew that there was something going on inside the house, right? But that I'm not, even that isn't what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something that his wife said on the phone, where he was texting friends that he was going to hang himself that night, right? And we hear stuff like that, and immediately people start speculating. CTE. It's the first thing that comes out of their minds. Do either of you remember Richard Sherman having a concussion or two?
Off the top of my head, no.
No.
So, listen, I'm not talking about what's going to be the outcome of the trial. I'm not going to talk about, what's happening and all that stuff. But I do know that we as viewers have to stop putting things on players. We're sitting here saying he's crazy, he lost his mind. As far as I know, the only thing that was wrong with him was he was drunk.
He got drunk. That was it.
That's it. That is it. And I'm hearing so many people say all these other things. Now, Tony and I were talking earlier today, and we were speculating about depression setting in. Because when I hear about the text of hanging yourself, I think depression is a real thing. Richard Sherman has been a highly sought-after corner. This is the driest offseason he's ever had. His better days are behind him. Even when people compliment him, it's, well, we know that he's lost a step, but he's really intelligent, so we can probably still be a use to somebody. Well, once the phone stops ringing, the calls aren't coming in, you start second guessing what's going to happen. Richard Sherman's been playing football since when? Pop Warner?
Yeah.
You know, he started on offense in college, switched over to defense, and has been a star after getting drafted in the 5th round since then. And multiple times all pro. He's used to his phone ringing constantly. Hey, you want to come over here? Do you want to come over here? It's not happening now. And so my entire point with all of this is that we can't sit here and say CTE. Let's not diagnose somebody that we've only heard a 3-minute phone call about. Let's not do that, especially with no evidence of that happening. Okay? And let's hope that he gets the professional help that he needs. That's what I wanted to say on it. And what I thought was important was about how people we sit here and we put things on players without hearing or knowing anything about them. And this has been bothering me for a long time because people were talking about, I've argued with you guys on the show when people say Ahkello Witherspoon is mentally weak. And I'm going to switch it to a former, he's a former 49er player too. But I defended that. How can you guys say he's mentally weak? What makes you think that? You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. And from what I know, it's the exact opposite. You know, so it's people, we can speculate on play. We can speculate on, decline or whatever, a player getting rattled and all that stuff. But mental aptitude, CTE, stuff like that, those aren't things that we're fit to diagnose and put on someone. That's my opinion on it.
Absolutely.
If you guys have something you want to touch on this, please feel free to do so.
No, I kind of gave my thoughts before. He's no longer on the team. I understand your thought process wanting to talk about players and whatnot, but I wish him the best in whatever happens for him, and hope that things work out between him and Ashley, whatever's going on, and hopefully he just from my perspective, I had said many a times that I felt like he should make the position switch. I think he'll be beneficial if he switches over to safety. And I think that would be beneficial for him in his NFL career. But, that he needs to focus on his own personal, his mentals, if you will, right now.
Ray just stole my thunder. I swear to God, I was just going to say that.
That's why I shut up. I didn't know if you guys were going to bring this up or not. Go ahead, Tony.
You have to give the 49ers a shout out here. He's not even under contract with Niners, like Brian said.
Absolutely.
And they still reached out to him. That's a former player as your GM reaching out to a player in need. And
wait. I just want to correct you really quick because he just got out today. He reached out to his wife.
Well, that's what he reached out. The statement was he reached out to the Sherman family.
Right.
So. Right. Shout out to John Lynch. He was a player. He's been in through the tough times, the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs, whatever. It just shows you how this team did a 360 since this regime has come in. Tom Sula days with Balky and all these people, I don't think they would do that, clearly.
Hey, I don't think Trent's calling anybody.
it's a very positive thing, and the culture is clearly back in
Yes.
Santa Clara right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
honestly, it would not shock me if John Lynch flew up there to
Right.
meet with him.
'Cause
It wouldn't shock me one bit. He's a former player. Like you
This
got
situation transcends football. This is about a human being not being able to
it's not
deal
about
with things or dealing with things in a manner that were obviously detrimental.
And negotiating contracts. Is he making no? This is a player with a former player who's in need of help. And I really would not be surprised if it's released within the next week that Lynch was up there with him. Or shit, if Lynch even picked him up from being released. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not saying it's gonna, but I would not be shocked.
No, but that's why I felt it was important to talk on this. It's a little bit bigger than the football aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than a former 49er player, whatever. John Lynch and Kyle say something all the time, and this is more proof that it's not just tongue in cheek. That this locker room is like family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it hurts their feelings when they have to cut and release people. These are rookies and undrafted free agents they were talking about that with.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like the work they tell you all the time. That's the worst part of it all. So I thought that was an A+ notion from John Lynch.
And just one thing, just to tie it, while we're talking about the front office and the organization, you asked about Jerick McKinnon. Why did we keep him around? You're asking about Dee Ford. Why are we keeping him around? Why is he not here? Why is he whatever? This team does the right thing for their players. They back their players. Now, I don't know. I have a definitive answer about this, but do you think Jerry Jones is going to pay a backup quarterback $27 million? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That man is business and money. He will not do it.
I think he did it.
No. $27 million? No.
Well, no.
No.
But didn't he listen to me? After Dak Prescott got the start due to Tony Romo's injury, didn't he keep Romo one more year and then Dak still was a starter?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know it's Cowboys. I don't care.
I don't think so. What I'm just trying to say is this organization is ran different. It's about doing the right thing and backing their players. And this is picture perfect clear how it's happening. He's not even under contract. He's not. The Niners don't have to do anything. The Niners don't have to call.
You're 100% right.
And Callie said it's a first-class organization. You're right. The 49ers are, again, they went from the laughing stock back to a first-class organization.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love this team. I love what they represent. It's got that old feel back to it. You know what I'm saying? So, what'd you do?
Hey,
is this like an offended Hawaiian? Like, what is this? What is happening here?
I don't know. I'm just clicking on the comments, man.
How do you say that? Chewy
Mawa. Moa?
Man, I don't know.
All right. Oh, fuck.
But whatever. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Was there any other topics that you guys wanted to discuss? I know we have to do a midnight show in a couple of hours here. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to discuss before we get out of here? How many snaps does wide receiver 3 take this year? And I'm going to look up how many they took last year. Oh, shit, that's impossible for me to take. I can't look that up. I was going to look up just snaps, but I wonder, is there a site that breaks down formations? There is a.
Are you talking about 3 wide or rotating the third receiver in?
No. 3 wide. 3 wide in particular. 49ers 2020. I think Pro Football Reference does it, right? I think it's in their advanced. They give you like the splits.
Well, you got to be careful, Mike, because they can go 5 wide and not have a third receiver on the field.
I know, but I want to know about the third wide receiver. I specifically want to know about that. I want to know how important you guys think this position really is.
I think it depends on who wide receiver 3 is.
I also think it depends on who's the quarterback.
Well, that's true.
Look at you guys. All right, so this is where can I find formations? Offensive splits. Let's see. Here we go. Offensive splits by down, by quarter, by location, game situation, splits by snap type and huddle. All right, let's look that up. Oh no, damn, that's no huddle, shotgun, and under center. All right, blitz normal, no. Splits by game situation. Wow, they got splits by score differential, splits by field position.
Oh, Jamie Lee. Oh wait, go back. Where's the Jamie Lee thing?
Splits by down and yards to go.
While you're looking that up, I just want to touch on this real quick. It wasn't that he. All right, here's the deal. When they brought Tom Sewell in, they begged Kyle Shanahan to become the offensive coordinator. He turned it down flat out. He did not want nothing to do with it. When the Niners reached out to interview him for the head coaching job while he was at Atlanta prepping for the Super Bowl, he was going to cancel it due to the fact of interviewing at other spots. I think he interviewed for 3 other positions. I think Denver, I think the Rams, I think the Niners, and there was another team that he interviewed with. And he was kind of like, this is too much. I'm getting overwhelmed, whatever. But he did it. And I also know that the factor of not having the quarterback situation solidified as well. But once he met with Jed York, they laid it all out on the table, and that was it. Jed York flat out agreed. We don't have a quarterback. We want you to find our quarterback. And when you have that, once you break that ice and you become comfortable, it makes your job so much easier. So, I just wanted to rectify that it wasn't that he just did not want to interview it. There's a couple things in there why he was hesitant.
Right. It was the situation.
Who the Niners. The guy's been around the Niners his whole life. Well, not his whole life. In '94 when his dad was there and he was with abundance of stars on that team. And, you hear stories about it.
Who led the 49ers with broken tackles last year?
Oh, that's tough.
Ayuk?
That's tough because you don't know they weren't healthy.
I know. That's why you guys are probably never going to guess this. It was Jeff Wilson Jr.
I was just going to say that. No way. I was going to say Jeff Wilson.
And he only played in 12 games. He only played in 12 games. He had 9 broken tackles last year. That's interesting. All right, I can't find the splits by formation, so I can't look up what I wanted to look up. I'm sorry, guys. All right, never mind. I wanted to talk about this third wide receiver position because this is something that a lot of people have been banging the doors down about, but it's all right. We'll get back to this a little bit later.
Well, I mean, I think from my perspective, I think that Hurd takes that position as long as he can be healthy, right? But I don't know how many snaps he gets.
Now everybody knew it was Jeff Wilson. Look at that. You guys are so funny.
No, I swear on my daughter, I was going to say Jeff Wilson. I swear on my daughter, I was going to say. But my sleeper for the third is going to be Jennings.
You've loved Jennings since we got him. You called me so excited about this kid, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's a beast, bro.
I think you told me about him before we got him, too.
Yeah.
I like what you say about him. Obviously, I hope that we get to see that, but it's going to be hard to be one of those 6 wide receivers, man. When you look at that, how that roster.
I don't think they're going to keep what's his name.
What's his name?
The guy Benjamin. I don't think Benjamin's going to.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
I don't think Benjamin's going to make it. I think it's going to come down between Sanu and Jennings for the slot. I mean, I don't know what hurt. They're saying he's ahead of schedule, but he was ahead of schedule with his back. I'm just tired of the injuries. That's all.
Right.
But it's a part of the game, man. That's why depth is important. People can sit here and say, "Oh, we don't need this guy. We don't need that guy." Those will be the same guys that save or make or break your season. And I would rather have a good roster all the way around. Hey, is having a good backup quarterback a bad thing?
No, never.
So why don't teams try to get 2 people who are worthy of starting? Is it because of the banging on the table for as soon as this guy goes? Well, no, because we were talking about it earlier. As soon as someone has a bad play, they're going to be banging on the table talking about, we want this guy, we want this guy. Is that why teams try to get someone who is significantly worse as the backup?
I don't think so. I think it comes down to money. I mean, when you have players that can play at a starter level, they're obviously going to demand a higher salary. And so I think that if you have someone who's a starter in the NFL, obviously we have a situation you're looking at where the rookie takes over, then you don't have to worry about that salary. So a lot of teams are going to try to, still bring in a backup who is only going to make $7 million a year or something or less as their backup quarterback. Whereas, unfortunately, right now, even if Trey wins the job, right now you're looking at having to pay a $27 million quarterback this season if we keep Jimmy on the roster. But I think most teams, they have their Dak Prescott, they've got their Russell Wilson. Those guys' contracts are huge, so you have to have, your backup quarterback making minimal.
Right. Does Sherfield make it? Really quick.
Yes.
They're saying
he's a lock to make this roster.
No,
yes.
He will not make this roster. Now what? Just because you said he's a lock. And I want to be clear.
He was one of the first targets they went out and grabbed.
I'm going to tell you why. They lost Travarius Moore, who was their top gunner. This guy's making the roster.
You guys are forgetting about Kevin White.
Kevin White's not making this roster.
You think Ward, Tart, and Jefferson will play together on certain packages?
No.
I do. If Jefferson makes this roster, I do.
He's not. Okay. All right. Okay.
You're going to have all three of those guys in the field at one time?
You got to realize something.
All three of those guys are going to make this roster.
I'm out. Who is the senior defensive assistant? Who is the senior defensive assistant on this team this year?
Oh, someone just got promoted to that.
No, they hired him. Betcher. James Betcher.
Okay.
He had his best season under Betcher in Arizona. And guess what role he played? Linebacker.
Nickel.
He was a blitzer. He was a safety in the box as a blitzer.
So is he rolling as a will or just a blitzer in general?
I don't know how they would do it. They used him when they would come. I think Arizona used 2 linebackers, 3 down linemen, and then like the 4 secondary. And he would go in. He would blitz inside, outside. He was just like the Joker, if you will, that role,
right?
Or the star, if you want to say. But
man, leave that shit up there. Go ahead, keep talking, bro. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm done.
I think. Can you guys think of a team other than the Packers that had a first-round quarterback for their backup for more than 3 years? I know the Packers did it with Aaron Rodgers for 4 or 5 years, right? I think they had picked up his 5th-year option before he ever touched the field.
No, I thought he played his 4th year, right?
I thought he was behind Brett for 4. I could be wrong. I know the number 4 is significant. It was either he was behind Brett for 4 or he didn't start until 4. I know the number 4 is significant, though.
I think he started his 4th year because Brett went to the
Vikings,
Jets or Minnesota and then the Jets.
Right, Vikings and then the Jets.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Can you think of another team that has had a first-round quarterback for a backup for multiple years? And I would say that the Browns don't count.
Technically, there's 2 of them. With Jameson, he fell under. He was a first-round pick, fell underneath Breeze for his season, right?
No. That's not what I mean. I mean
you're talking about rookies.
The team that drafted them.
Okay. Because Mariota's there too, but
because the Packers are doing it again with Kevin Love. He's been this is 2 or 3 years now.
Jordan Love.
God damn it. Yes, Jordan Love. My bad. He's been there for 2 years now, and he'll be a backup. Well, he might be a starter this year. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is it a first-round pick that
Cousins wasn't a first-round pick?
Yeah, but he wasn't
he wasn't a first-round pick.
A first-round pick. He was like a 4th-round pick, right?
Third or 4th. Besides the 3rd. But yeah, he wasn't a first round.
Beat. A-Ride to Denver, do it.
My man, get that shit right back up there again. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys, we'll wrap this thing up here. We're approaching 10:30. Give me an hour and a half before the midnight show that's starting at 2 a.m. And we'll go ahead and get up out of here. Let's do some final thoughts for the first time in a long time. I don't know the last time we actually did a real final thoughts here. We tried it the other night with Breezy here, and we were like, man, let's just go to bed. So
right. He was ready to be done.
Let's see what you guys got, man. Look at Tony, you want to go first?
Final thoughts. Shit, I don't even know. Just I guess prayers to the Sherman family. Hope everything goes okay. And that's it. Just preseason's getting close. I think it's actually almost a month away for the first game. And training camp is less than 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Right.
It's going to get interesting and just hope for positive things on the injury front.
Absolutely.
Ryan?
Love me or hate me, I'm here. And
I love you, man. I don't care what they say about you.
Be golden to each other, And like we were talking about earlier, there's several sides of the story. So make sure that you don't just believe what you read on the social media. Make sure you go out there and do a little research and find out what's really going on.
Or just be patient and let things play out.
Or don't get involved.
My final thoughts are going to be this. Rich Eisen posted something yesterday or the day before. He's recently lost his father. And it was him closing out a show, giving his, I'm not going to say final thoughts on his dad. Obviously, you don't have final thoughts of a loved one, right? But on the show, and he was emotional and all. I encourage you all to go out there and watch that clip. I think it's like 4 minutes long. Them talking about what his father meant to him, and it's a very, very touching clip. I encourage you all to go out there and watch that, and then I dare you all to be good people. Like Brian said, be golden to each other.
Did we miss Shark's birthday?
No, I'm pretty sure didn't we do that last night or the night before in the show?
I don't remember.
No, wait. I have that picture in here because
I know we didn't do it tonight.
Oh, the picture's not here anymore. Did I delete it? I had it. I definitely had the picture. But was that yesterday or the day before? It was the day before.
Yeah,
no, we did it because we were a day or two late for someone else's birthday. And then I made sure that we weren't late for the Shark.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we did it. Because someone said it's also Shark Week. Remember? We had the conversation about Shark Week.
You're right.
Okay. So, all right. So that's it, guys. Those are our final thoughts. We're going to get up out of here. Let's see if I can point our way home. That means you got to be looking at the screen and off mute. So let's see if this works, okay? I'm going to surprise you guys. You don't know which way I'm going to point. We don't know where. Okay, ready? Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We're out of here, guys. Peace.
Mahalo.